Alderman Geenan.
Present.
Alderman Clark.
Here.
Alderman Mayberry.
Present.
Alderman Spaghettis. Absent, temporarily unavailable. Alderman Talanair.
Here.
Alderman Parker.
Here.
Mayor Tomes.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. If we could do the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence while we're standing. Moment of silence, please. Thank you very much. Item number 5.
Minutes of the October 23rd, 2017 meeting.
Move to approve the minutes as printed.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Questions? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Item number 6.
Minutes of the executive session of October 23rd, 2017.
Move to approve the executive session minutes.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Update Rock Island. A couple items here. Sewer smoke testing. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? The City of Rock Island and personnel from Vistra, and Kim, Inc. conducted a smoke test on the sanitation sewer lines in the area bounded by 30th Street and 38th Street and 18th Avenue to 23rd Avenue on October 16th and 17th. There will be an informational meeting to discuss those results on Wednesday, November 8th, 2017 at 6 p.m. at the Rock Island Police Department Community Room, which is 1212 5th Avenue, which is Rock Island. Career Information Day. John Deere is having a Career Information Day at the Martin Luther King Jr. Community Center on Saturday, November 11th, 2017 at 10:30 in the morning. John Deere leaders will be on hand to discuss career information in technology, skills, trades, engineering, accounting, and human resources. This event is open to the public, but high school students and young adults are encouraged to attend. The King Center is located at 630 9th Street in Rock Island. For more information, please contact 309-732-2999. Holiday Refuge and Collection. Refuge recycling and yard waste collection schedule will be on the normal schedule during the week of Veterans Day holiday. The drop-off center located at Millennium Waste at 1360 Knoxville Road in Milan will be open on Saturday from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. The City of Rock Island offices will be open. How to feed your winter birds. On Saturday, November 18th, 2017, from 9:30 to 11, naturalist Bob Motch will help you identify birds common to our winter feeders and show the type of food that attract a variety of winter birds. Binoculars will be provided. The event will be held at the Singing Bird Center at Blackhawk State Park. The event is free, and for more information, please call 309-788-9536. Thank you very much. Item number 8.
Presentation of the financial management report for the third quarter 2017.
Good evening. So tonight I am presenting the third quarter of 2017's financial report, and at this point, through September 30th, our target benchmark would be 75% of revenue and expenditures. So we'll start with the revenues and expenditures and net position. These first two pages reflect the financial activity of all of our funds, starting with the governmental funds with general fund revenue General fund revenue is at 68% of budget, while expenditures are at 72% of budget. In general, the general fund, library, TIF districts, and park, those funds do rely heavily on property tax, and so at this point, the third installment of property tax was due September 8th, so 75% of the property tax revenue has been received. The fourth and final installment is due November 8th. Other funds that might be running a little bit off of that benchmark, you can see the TIF fund, the third line down. Expenditures are rather low at this point at 6% of budget, and that is because the TIF funds have some debt service associated with them, along with redevelopment agreements that also might be associated with them, and those either have not occurred or the debt service payments, the principal portion is due December 1st, so we do have a lot of debt service payments that are coming up that we're preparing for. At the bottom of the page, you can see the debt service fund revenues are at 60%, and then 21% expenditures. Again, same reason, our debt service payments are due December 1st. Flipping to the next page represents our proprietary funds, fiduciary funds, and our component unit, which is the Martin Luther King Center. If you look at the top of the proprietary funds, the enterprise funds of waterworks and wastewater treatment are both running significantly below budget in revenues and expenditures, and that by nature is the IEPA loan funded projects. So we haven't gotten the proceeds yet, nor have we spent some of the budgeted items that are planned for this year. But I did take a look at those, taking out that IEPA activity, and they are on track at this point. I wanted to point out, too, down in the fiduciary funds, the pension trust funds are doing very well from a revenue standpoint at 150% of the revenue budget. At our third quarter pension board meetings, fire was at 10% returns for the year. Police was about 8.5% per year, so we're pleased with those financial returns for the year. So overall, all of the funds, revenue is at 61% of budget. Expenditures are at 51%. Revenues do exceed expenditures at about $6.5 million, and our cash available across all funds is about $32 million. We'll talk a little bit more about that. There's another schedule in the financial management report where we look at the cash balance. Starting last quarter, we added a new schedule to the report, and this is general fund expenditures by department. So it breaks down that general fund section into the expenditures and budget for each department, and overall, general fund expenditures are at 72% of budget. The next few pages are our state and local tax revenue analysis, and the first two are income tax and replacement tax. So these schedules are helpful. They have our budget kind of broken down by month, our actual receipts or anticipated receipts if we know what they are in the next column, and this schedule projects forward where we are year to date as though that would be the number that we might receive for the year. What's also helpful in looking at these analysis schedules is that there is a 5-year average at the beginning. So back to income tax, you can see that we've taken a dip down below budget, and this is unfortunate but expected, and you can see where it started to dip down right after starting in July, and we learned a couple months ago that the state did reduce municipal income tax by 10% for their fiscal 2018 that started July 1. As of right now, that is only for their fiscal 18, and hopefully that will hold true. My financial crystal ball shows that we'll miss income tax budget by about $500,000 as a result of that change. Replacement tax looks like a better picture. We're running ahead of budget. Also in replacement tax, we learned that income will reduce by 23% per year going forward. And we saw that with the first distribution in September running well below the 5-year average. And you do have to keep in mind when looking at replacement tax that it's not distributed every month. It's 8 payments per year. I do think we will meet budget, though, on the replacement tax, which is good. We did get good news, is that the overpayment that they had told us we owed, 300-some thousand, when they told us last April of 2016, we have been notified that we will not have to pay that back, so that's some good news. Sales tax and local option tax, sales tax is running below budget, and in part the decline is a result of Kmart leaving us. Also, we were notified of an overpayment by the state. One of the businesses in town had gone through a major audit and discovered that they were paying too much sales tax, so the state did let us know that they were going to take that back to the tune of $83,000 over the summer. And then we also learned that the state adopted a new administrative fee as it relates to the collection of the local option sales tax. So they do collect that for us and pass it on to us, and they are charging a 2% fee starting July 1 and going forward. Use tax and municipal utility tax. Use tax is a good news item. Use tax continues to increase. You can see our budget this year is in excess of the 5-year average, and we are running over budget, and it looks like that will continue, so that is good news. The municipal utility tax is one of those revenues that continues to decline. We did lower our budget going into 2017, and I think we'll be really close to budget for the year. Telecom is also referred to as excise tax, also a revenue source that continues to decline. We won't likely make budget on this one, but we did lower our budget for the 18-year accordingly. Food and beverage tax is a good news item. It's looking like it's tracking right on budget, and it's very close to the 5-year average. The last tax that we look at in this analysis is our gaming tax, and you can see that the 5-year average is about $5.1 million. Our budget this year was $3.9 million, and it would appear that the projected annual of $4.4 million is probably right about where they will end up for the year, maybe even a little bit more. So we have 2 more sections of the financial management report. We're going to look at some cash and investment totals, and then also our project status, and then I can answer any questions that you might have. So I mentioned earlier that we're, overall across all of our funds, we have about $32 million in cash, and I just wanted to point out that in this graph, the November 2016 and September 2017 columns, kind of the high points of this period, is a result of bonds that were issued in those months. So we received the bond proceeds, we're sitting on the cash before we pay it out. So it always kind of jumps up there, and then it dips here in December when we pay our debt service payments. Interest rates do continue to creep up. And then we do have a pie chart that shows the percentage of our investments by investment pool or bank, etc. The last schedule in the report is our capital and major project expenditure status report. It lists all of our projects by fund that has their budget and payments year to date, or purchase orders that have been issued against the project. And I'll scroll down. This is a 3-page report. Second page begins Public Works, which has the most projects out of all the departments. But our total budgeted projects is $38.9 million. And through September 30th, we are at an 81.8% completion. And a good portion of that is in Public Works. And big portions, too, are the water treatment facility and sewer projects as well. Any questions? No? Okay. Thank you.
Group's easy on you. Thank you very much. We have item number 9,
Claims A through E. A, report from the Human Resources Department regarding payment in the amount of $17,960.54 to Dave Morrison of Rock Island, Illinois, for legal services rendered for the period of September 27, 2017 through October 23, 2017. B, report from the Public Works Department regarding payment number 1 in the amount of $244,566.90 to Civil Constructors Incorporated of East Moline, Illinois, for the Water Filtration Facility Project for services provided from July 17, 2017 through October 13, 2017. C, report from the Public Works Department regarding payment number 4 in the amount of $131,976.19 to Centennial Contractors of the Quad Cities Incorporated of Moline, Illinois, for the 2017 Sidewalk and Pavement Patching Program for services provided from September 7, 2017 through September 29, 2017. D, report from the Public Works Department regarding payment number 2 in the amount of $183,781.54 to Miller Trucking and Excavating of Silvis, Illinois, for the Lincoln Court Reconstruction 17th to 20th Streets project for services provided from September 8, 2017 through October 6, 2017. And E, report from the Public Works Department regarding payment in the amount of $27,300 to Stack Test Group Incorporated of Ottawa, Illinois, for annual emission testing of the natural gas engines at the wet weather treatment facility.
Move to accept the reports and authorize payments for claims items A through E as recommended.
All right, any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. With the exception of A, all of the businesses that we're sending this money out to do not reside in Rock Island. I and a lot of people in this city have problems with that.
Of course, we go with lowest bid typically, so.
Well, typically, but not always. But we're sending
in
a
good
lot of money
standings.
to other places. We need this money staying in the city of Rock Island as much as possible.
There potentially could be a lot of workers that live in Rock Island for these companies too, so.
Well, but we don't know that. But we know where these companies are located at, and they're not located in Rock Island, with the exception of our law firm. Thank you.
Yep. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Shep,
Aye.
Enan,
Aye.
Clark,
Aye.
Mayberry,
Yes.
Brigettis.
Yes.
Talanair.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, motion carried.
Item 10.
Claims for the weeks of October 20th through October 26th in the amount of $982,960.87, and October 27th through November 2nd in the amount of $711,394.72, and payroll for the weeks of October 9th through October 22nd in the amount of $1,455,772.17.
Move to allow the claims in the payroll.
Second.
Moving second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Shep,
Aye.
Enan,
Aye.
Clark,
Aye.
Mayberry,
Aye.
Spargettis.
Yes.
Talanair.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, motion carried.
Item number 11.
Report from the General Administration regarding a special ordinance amending Chapter 2, Article 6, Division 2, Section 2-216 of the Code of Ordinances as it relates to appointments and removals to boards and commissions.
Move to.
No.
Oh, you need to read that next
That's
part.
just
Go
good.
ahead.
Note, this item was deferred from the October 23, 2017 council meeting.
Move to consider, suspend the rules, and pass the ordinance and strike from Part B the words infamous crime and felony.
Second.
Moving second. Any discussion?
And just for clarification for Alderman Clark, so we would want to keep bribery and perjury,
I do feel that that is
just for clarification.
sufficient.
I think we need to do a motion. We need to vote on the amendment first.
What we need to do is you're amending it and taking that out. We're going to do a vote on that and then vote on the actual total, the ordinance change. Okay?
That's fine.
So is that what your motion is, that amendment?
To amend it.
Is there a second to that amendment?
I did.
You did? Okay. Any discussion on the amendment? Roll call, please.
Alderman Shep,
Aye.
Enan,
Aye.
Clark,
Aye.
Mayberry,
Yes.
Brigettis.
Yes.
Collinaire.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Ayes, no nays. Motion carried.
Now we need,
Now we can just read it right
yep,
off. right?
yep.
So I move to consider, suspend the rules, and pass the ordinance
Second.
with the amendment, correct?
With the amendment. Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Schipp.
Aye.
Geenan.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Aye.
Spargettis.
Yes.
Collinaire.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays. Motion carried.
Item number 12.
Report from the city clerk regarding a special ordinance amending Chapter 7, Article 4, Section 7-60A, A1, A2, and A3 of the Code of the Ordinances as it relates to recreational vehicle park licenses.
Move to consider, suspend the rules, and pass the ordinance.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Schipp.
Aye.
Geenan.
Aye.
Clark. Mayberry.
Yes.
Spargettis.
Yes.
Collinaire.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays. Motion carried.
Item number 13.
Report from the city clerk regarding a special ordinance amending Chapter 8, Article 1, Section 8-2 and 8-8, Chapter 8, Article 3, Division 1, Section 8-82 and 8-84, Chapter 8, Article 8, Section 8-273 and Section 8-274, and Chapter 8, Article 18, Section 8-488 of the Code of Ordinances as it relates to licenses and business regulations.
Move to consider, suspend the rules, and pass the ordinance.
Second.
Move to second. Any discussion? Besides, there's a lot of numbers in there. Roll call, please.
Alderman Schipp.
Aye.
Geenan.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Aye.
Spargettis.
Yes.
Collinaire.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays. Motion carried.
Item 14.
Report from the Community and Economic Development Department regarding the Citizens Advisory Committee's recommendations for calendar year 2018 gaming grant fund allocations.
Move to approve the allocations as recommended and authorize the city manager to execute the contract documents.
Second.
Move to second. Any discussion? You want to, like to hear from the committee, or?
I have a point I'd like to make first, or a statement here is looking at where are we at here? I'm looking for Community Caring Conference here. So Community Caring Conference had made a request for $8,000 for staff support costs. The proposal was for $1,500 to fund that. I would like to offer for discussion and maybe an amendment to fully fund that request for Community Caring Conference, as I know we're looking to see that organization do good work and thrive in this community. And if we have additional funds in gaming, wherever it could be found, to make that commitment to Community Caring Conference.
The reason we didn't fully fund that was it was a staffing position where we looked, and as a whole, we went back and funded more of the projects and not staffing. There was a
And
couple
from my
other staffing
experience,
positions.
it's hard to run programs without staffing, so I see that balance.
True, that can be, but some of the other funds or the other requests were actually projects that helped numerous kids. That was our focus as far as fully funding. I think we fully funded one, and that was Habitat for the new house on a vacant lot to bring a new family in, to bring a new house in. Also was good for property taxes. But that was a reason. The Community Caring Conference came to us last year. We did not fund them last year because they were just starting up. We did go ahead and fund them the $1,500 because they've done remarkable. But yet, that was the decision of the committee and has been for the last 3 or 4 years, not to fund purely staffing, but more programs as far as the gaming. That's what the decision was for that one.
No, and I have no, the work that you all had to do for this very difficult decisions, limited funding. My request is sort of outside of that in making an amendment to this. would be to fully fund Community Caring Conference, as I know we can get that funding from somewhere, and to make that support for that organization. Unless that support doesn't exist on this council, that's fine.
Is it possible that we look, not add
Sure.
that into this piece,
Right.
but we look differently and see how we can work
Sure.
with Community Caring Conference?
And that's fine. I'm
Yeah.
just using this as an opportunity to
Yeah.
highlight the.
Thank you.
Well, Alderman Ship, as you said, we can get it from somewhere. Our finance director is here. She just made a report. Stephanie, could you come back up, please?
Gonna make her work harder.
Well, I don't know where somewhere is. You know, you just can't pull money out of the sky. If we've got it, I'm in agreeance too, but I don't know whether we have it.
I would hesitate to take it out of gaming because it wouldn't take us over 50,000. Agreed, it'd be great to get it out of someplace, but 50,000's been the number since its inception, so.
And
Now,
we
we were
know that
talking
the advisory committee reviews all of the applications, and it's a very difficult task, and, I commend them for their recommendations.
Thank you.
I know it's a hard task to do when you're only given so much, and you want to fund everything.
I would like to take just a second, and I know Stephanie's on her way up, but Bill Anderson was on the committee with me, and he's here tonight, and we couldn't have done it without Colleen from our CED department, and she's going to be the one to facilitate everything after the recommendations are made, so I really got to give my hand to them, too.
Yes.
Okay. Do we have somewhere where we can get this additional money?
Well, last year, Community Caring Conference did receive some CIP funds. And this year, the CED department does have a line item that you guys will be seeing in our study session next week when we review the use of the gaming fund. And there is an item, can't remember the name off the top of my head, but something along the lines of neighborhood organizations. And I do believe it was the intent to assist the Community Caring Conference somewhat with those funds. So we will be talking about that next Monday. Thank you.
Thank you.
6,500, yeah. All right. So we have a motion to approve this as is, and we got a second. Discussion?
I had a quick question.
Yes.
There was 4 public meetings held by the Citizens Advisory Committee. How do we publish those public meetings?
The meetings are open to the public. We do not publish. It's not a requirement of the funding.
Okay.
There are no rules other than what was presented as policies and procedures to you when we started this process. So the meetings are always open to the public. Anyone can come in and sit and listen. They do not have input, but
Sure.
How do they know that the meeting is taken?
we do news releases.
Oh, well, yeah, well, that's what
You know, we do press releases. And
Well, yeah, you've done a press release. That let people know they could be there.
so
How many applications did you have this year?
We had 24 applications.
Looked like for over $90,000 or something.
We had a total ask of $125,000.
125,000.
And we had $50,000 to allocate. And I'd just like to point out that the $50,000, that's an ordinance. So we have to work within those parameters.
I would just encourage all city staff to utilize every outlet that we can to give, the public notice of our public meetings, our Facebook page, whatever. Thanks for doing press releases. Let's try to do that as much as we can.
Very good. Roll call, please.
Alderman Ship,
Yes.
Geenan,
Aye.
Clark,
Aye.
Mayberry,
Aye.
Spargettis.
Yes.
Talonier,
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, motion carried.
Item 15.
Report from the Traffic Engineering Committee regarding a request for the installation of a handicap parking space at 2837 9th Avenue.
Motion to approve the request is recommended and refer to the city attorney for an ordinance.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Item 16.
Report from the mayor regarding an appointment to the Fire Pension Board.
Move to approve the appointment as recommended.
Second.
Move in second. Any discussion?
Name.
Name, that's right, for the public, it is Steve Presley with Wheeling Presley Funeral Home.
Thank you.
You bet.
Knowing well.
I see in the memo, it's, I know Steve, he's a neighbor of mine, he's a great guy. I think
Yep.
he'll do fine. It says that he's being appointed due to his specialized training. I'm just curious on, is it financial knowledge, or what assets?
A lot of it is financial, of course, running a business and everything else, but part of that really is referring to that he needs to, this requires some certification, and they have to do 32 hours of training, typically up in Chicago. There are other places, but someplace he has to do 32 hours of training for this, and then has to do continued education on an annual basis for this position. So that's the type of, that they're really referring to there. But
And he
along
also
with-
has a hobby of having some fire trucks of his own.
Yes, he does. So, but
He does.
yes,
Whoa.
that's a love of his life. But
I misread that. My mistake. I see it, he's agreeing to maintaining the required specialization, not that he has.
yes, that's where he's going to.
Apologies.
So the fund actually covers some of his expenses for that, the pension fund, but it does require more time than a lot of the other boards for certification.
No problem.
So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item 17, other business.
Just like to remind everyone at home and here, this Thursday at 6 o'clock, the 7th Ward will be hosting for the community a ward meeting. We'll have department heads and the mayor there, and if you have children, Ballet Quad Cities is going to be providing fun activities in the cafeteria, or in the gym of Dankman Elementary School, and the meeting will be held in the cafeteria of the school. So please join us.
Would you repeat the time again,
It's
please?
6 o'clock this Thursday.
Thank you.
And as you can imagine, sitting close to my colleague Alderman Geenan here, we coordinated with the meetings very poorly. There is a meeting this Thursday, 6 p.m. in the 6th Ward. Not a ward meeting per se, but I do go to these every year. It's the Keystone Fall General Meeting. I know Chandler Poole is going to be there. We're going to be talking about a variety of things going on in the neighborhood, going on in the city, and it really is just a great opportunity for people in the 6th Ward and anyone else throughout the city to come and have some food. We always have food, beverage, and good community conversation. So 6 p.m. at St. John's Lutheran Church there on 7th Avenue.
Thursday the 9th?
Thursday the 9th, 6 p.m.
Pick your exciting place to go.
Yeah.
Yes. Come on, let's offer some more up. Who's going to offer the most excitement? We got the ballet.
No,
Is there any other news? Any other issues?
Yeah, so, continuing the saga of the stop sign here. So residents up there on 15th Avenue will now see new no parking here to intersection signs at that intersection. The concern from staff, as I understood it, was that the intersection was too congested. So there was no ordinance change. There was no, we didn't have to do anything. It's already the ordinance that you're not allowed to park so many feet before an intersection. So we just went up there and posted signs so that people would quit clogging that. Now, continuing to talk with the residents of that area, it was uncovered that people were purposefully parking like that, bottlenecking the intersection to slow the traffic down, which has been the complaint this entire time. So now we have opened it back up, thereby letting more people travel through that street, potentially faster. So I would like to make a motion to bring back to this council at next meeting the issue of whether we are going to put stop signs at that intersection.
I don't think you can do that on other business without it being on the agenda.
To just bring it up for next meeting?
Just add, just,
Oh, I'm not certain that you can make a motion in the context of other business to put something on the agenda for next time. I think that,
I think this is a conversation we're having.
Okay.
so Randy can work on, you talk to Randy about
Yeah.
putting that on there.
yeah, and that,
Okay.
that's,
However, it needs to be done.
right, it's
Put that on the or the agenda.
probable violation to do that without it being specified.
Okay?
Appreciate the comments.
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
We've had this issue here in Rock Island for quite a few years with the news media, mainly the newspaper. Approximately 2.5 weeks ago, a young man was murdered in Devonport, Demetrius Summers, and the headlines on the back page said, "Rock Island man slain in Devonport." Okay? I talked to other people. The young man was born in Moline, December the 20th. He was 29 years old. He lived in Devonport. There's no real record that he ever lived in Rock Island. I talked to Vera Kelly, who is the president of the Metrocom branch, the NAACP, that sits on the task force with the chief of police of Devonport. He told her they did not release that information to the news media. We've got a problem. I was hoping with the new ownership of the Argus Dispatch that some of this would stop. I talked to Randy about it. I talked to you, Mayor. What did they tell you? There's never been a retraction or beg your pardon. They have a license to print the truth, not whatever they want to print.
Yeah, it's freedom of speech, so they can print a lot of things.
Well, you can't
the city
print
managers
lies.
talk to them. I've talked to them, and we have a meeting with the editor, with Roger Ruthart, later this week, discuss that and other issues. But the indication was there was not going to be a retraction.
Okay.
But we're going to talk to them.
Would they same thing they told you, Randy?
That's correct.
Okay.
I think they've been doing it, not to jump in, but I think they've been doing it for so long, they don't even see it anymore.
Oh, they see it. They know exactly what they're doing.
Sure.
Yeah. You know, they almost cost the alderman that was sitting here, PJ, his job by printing lies in the paper, okay? And the newsman was sitting right there on the second row. This is garbage. We cannot continue to let them slam the city of Rock Island, or they will continue to do it. Something needs to be done about it. And you said freedom of speech, yeah. But when you've got a license from the FCC, it says that you will print the truth. Isn't that correct, Hector? You can print lies?
The newspapers are not licensed by the FCC.
Who are they licensed by?
They are not licensed. That's our First Amendment.
So maybe that's the reason we've got this new newspaper, Rock Island News. And most of you have seen that, and it's nothing but a bunch of lies.
Okay. Thank
Okay?
you. Appreciate it.
If you would, let us know
Yes.
what comes out of your meeting.
Sure. If there's nothing else, we have a couple of people in the audience that'd like to speak.
Mayor, I do
Oh, I'm
have
sorry.
just one more thing.
No, you bet.
This Friday is the official observance day, but Saturday I think is the calendar day for Veterans Day. I know our city manager, Randy, is a veteran of the armed services. Anybody else on council? Anyone else up here in the audience? We just wanted to say thank you for your service to all those who are employed by the city of Rock Island, who live in Rock Island, who are proud to be veterans of this great nation. So.
I'll be serving breakfast to the vets up at Hy-Vee in Rock Island this weekend, actually. I think 8 o'clock, 8 to 10 I'm serving.
Awesome.
So,
Pick your tail.
I'm sorry, I did have one thing. And it's on the 21st Avenue and 11th Street. There's been a lot of demolition there, and it is with our CED staff, Friendship Manor, and they are doing some urban blight removal there, and it's really well noted, and a lot of people have been calling about questions about what we're doing there, but we're done with it, but Friendship Manor's doing it.
it'll be like a park-like setting with some signage.
And we are really chatty tonight. To piggyback on what Alderman Shipp said, Veterans Day is this Saturday, as you said. I will also be hosting an event this Saturday at 11 in the morning at the World War I Memorial up on 18th Avenue. Some may not know that Veterans Day was originally Armistice Day, which commemorated the end of the First World War. And we have a nice little monument that a lot of people probably don't know that exists up there on 18th Avenue on Memorial Park. So I'm hosting a little memorial event up there. The public is welcome. There's a list of the local veterans of that war up there, and we're going to read them off and try to remember them. So please join me.
That's the reservoir location?
Yeah, it's up there by the Reservoir Park is the technical name of the
I know
place.
where it is, I just want to be sure we got the right name so people would know.
Yeah, it's by the water, big circular
Reservoirs,
domes.
water reservoirs.
Yeah, hence the name. But there's a small plaque there.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be up there.
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
Very good. All right. Max, is Max here? Want to talk about the library.
Hello, I'm a senior at Rock Island High School, and some of my classmates are back there, juniors and seniors. And about the library, what I wanted to talk about was that it's my understanding that there's potential expansions, and as part of that, something that's important to us would be a space for teenagers to hang out and study and kind of have their own place there. I use the library quite frequently. Just this last week, I was sick, and I still made a trip to the library and came back with a stack of books, probably about that high. And oftentimes, I go to the Rock Island Library first, and then I head over to the Moline Library to get whatever books that they didn't have here locally. But the Moline Library is a lot better suited to that sort of kind of hangout space, and especially with the cafe, it's just kind of much nicer to be there, and I think that's important to look at in the local library. Because while the local downtown library here is a great place to go and stop by and get books, that's just about all that I do. It's not really the sort of place that I would want to hang out other than just, like I said, using it functionally. And I do think it's important that we all have a space to use there and to kind of have our own area and a well-lit area. Especially for like studying and tutoring. Locally, when we do that sort of thing, either us high school students getting tutored or tutoring each other, we usually go to a different cafe or a different space to do that. And as the library is a public space, I think it's important that there's a nice place that we can do that there. That's all.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Quick little informal. Was it downtown that you typically go to, the downtown versus the 3031?
I do both. The 3031 is closer to my house, but the downtown usually has more of the books that I want, just because it's a bigger library.
Are your friends, either they typically go downtown or?
Yeah, I think so as well.
And mode of transportation? You drive or
Yeah.
bus or whatever? Okay. Very good. Thank you. Grant Florence, I think. I'd talk about the library.
Thanks. I just wanted to make a couple points about the library also. First, I think it would offer, a great anchor to the community, specifically for all local students looking for a space where they have access to tools like internet access, things like that, that would definitely help in their success in school. So it would help elementary students, high school students, and also students from like Augustana as well. So all levels. Second, like my friend Max said, we've seen processes like this in the Quad Cities work before, specifically in Moline about 10 years ago when they completely rebuilt their library. It's obviously been a very successful project, and it attracts lots of people throughout the Quad Cities itself. And lastly, this is an investment directly into our city. So when we're investing in our city is going to reap the rewards. And for those reasons, I think it's a great plan. So, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for the younger generation coming in and speaking up and giving their thoughts. Appreciate that.
Thanks.
Excuse me, Grant. Were you one of the ambassadors for Rock Island earlier
I am.
in the year? I thought you said at our table.
Oh, yeah.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah, thanks.
All of you out there, keep up
Yes,
the good work.
thank you.
Just like to add, regarding a place to hang out and work and whatnot with the library, I'm working with a group currently. It's called the Rock Island Switchyard. I don't know if you're familiar with makerspaces, but that's the idea. We're trying to start a makerspace in the downtown public library. It's in its infancy. It's very small. But you guys are exactly the type of people that I'm trying to get involved in this so that we can form it to being a place that people can go and work on their laptop and have access to equipment and technology and stuff like that. So find me on Facebook. I have an Alderman page. Shoot me a message if you want to get involved, but I would encourage you to do so.
Thank you. Well, then we're up to item 18.
Executive session, 5 ILCS 120-2C12, the establishment of reserves or settlement of claims as provided in the Local Governmental and Governmental Employees Tort Immunity Act.
Excuse me, motion to go into executive session for the exception cited.
Second.
Move second. Roll call, please.
Alderman Ship.
Aye.
Enan.
Aye.
Clark. Mayberry.
Aye.
Spargettis.
Yes.
Talanair.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays. Motion carried.
Total Info Local